Most people are using Claude completely wrong. They open it up, type a question, read the answer, and close the tab. That's it, that's their whole workflow. And then they wonder why AI isn't actually saving them any time. Most people have no idea that Claude can build workflows, analyze entire businesses, remember projects, automate tasks, and basically function like an AI employee. And the crazy part? Most users never even discover 90% of these features. So in this video, I am going to show you how to use Claude AI better than 99% of people. And once you see what it can actually do, you will never use AI the same way again. And by the end, you'll have a setup that actually works for you instead of one you have to babysit. Before we touch anything, let's talk about pricing, because your plan determines what you have access to. People always ask whether the paid plan is worth it. Claude actually has one of the strongest free plans available right now. For casual users, it's more than enough. The full experience, and for that, the Pro plan at $20 a month is where you want to be. That gets you higher usage limits, access to all the models, and critical access to projects and skills. For everything I'm covering today, Pro plan is more than enough. Let's build. Let's talk models quickly, because the choice actually matters depending on what you're doing. Right now there are 3 models: Opus, Sonnet, and Haiku. Opus is the most powerful. Use it when you're building something complex, deep analysis, multi-step projects, anything where reasoning quality is the top priority. It's slower and uses. Sonnet is my everyday default. It's fast, it's capable. And when you turn on extended thinking, which lets Claude reason through a problem step by step before responding, it handles genuinely complex tasks extremely well. This is probably where you'll spend 80% of your time. Haiku is fast and lightweight. I personally don't use it much for serious work, but it's there if speed is the only thing that matters and quality is secondary. One thing to know: Claude tracks token usage on a rolling 5-hour window plus a weekly cap. Opus burns through tokens faster. Sonnet is more efficient. Keep that in mind when planning longer work sessions. When you first log in, it looks like every other AI tool. Chat box in the middle, model selector up top, file upload on the left. Nothing surprising, but look at the left sidebar. That's where everything interesting lives: your conversation history, your projects, your skills, and your artifacts. One thing I want to flag immediately, because this bad advice is everywhere online, is the settings menu. There's a section in there where you can write global custom instructions. Tell Claude who you are, what you do, how you like responses formatted. Sounds smart, right? Here's the problem. Global instructions apply to everything, every conversation, and if you use Claude for more than one type of work, which you should, those instructions start creating weird, off-brand responses in the wrong situations. I keep that section completely empty. Instead, I handle all of that inside projects. Where instructions are scoped to specific workflows, you get the right context at the right time, every time. We'll build those out shortly. Alright, prompting. This is where 90% of people leave massive value on the table. Most people treat Claude like Google. But Claude is not a search engine, it's a reasoning engine. Here's the framework I use for every single prompt. I call it ICC. Instructions, context, constraints. Instructions: define the task and action you want Claude to take. Context: this is the most skipped layer and the most important one. Context is setting the stage with your role, objectives, background, anything Claude should know that's relevant to the task, and constraints are the rules. Tone, style, formatting, word count, structure, limitations, examples, anything that shapes the final output. Let me show you the difference. Bad prompt: give me content ideas for my business. These answers aren't bad, but they're very generic. To make this better, I used ICC with the same instruction and 5 ways to implement AI in my business. And for context, I will give some more information about the business, and then also added some constraints. Same Claude, same model. Completely different output, because the instructions were completely different. Now here's a pro move on top of that. Sometimes you don't even know what context you're missing. You write a prompt, get an okay answer, and can't figure out why it's not quite right. The fix is simple. Add this line before you answer: ask me any questions that would help you give a better response. Claude will immediately come back with 3 or 4 questions. Answer those questions, then let it run. That extra step alone makes your first output usable 90% of the time. Using the plus button or just dragging them in, you can upload files to work from or analyze. Drop in PDFs, images, spreadsheets, a contract, a competitor's landing page. The Claude reads, summarizes, extracts, and analyzes. One honest limitation here: Claude cannot generate images. Every other model like ChatGPT, Gemini generates amazing images, but Claude analyzes image and gives the best output. For example, I'm going to come here and take a screenshot of my competitor channel, Drop that in, and I'll say, here's a screenshot of my competitor's YouTube channel, analyze the title and thumbnail combinations across these videos, identify what's working visually, and messaging-wise, what isn't, and any patterns you notice, and tell me the reason why videos go viral. That is, Claude analyzes the image and gives all clear answers in structure format. And then you have artifacts, which is honestly one of the coolest features inside Claude. Instead of just generating text in the chat, Claude can create fully interactive outputs in a dedicated side panel, dashboards, flowcharts, documents, presentations, trackers, even interactive tools. And the craziest part is how easy it is. You literally describe what you want, and Claude builds it in real time. Want a YouTube content planning dashboard? It can make one. Want a landing page mockup or a campaign strategy document? Done. Claude can generate it directly beside your conversation so you can edit and refine it live. It completely changes the way you work because now you are not just chatting with AI anymore. You are building with it. If Claude doesn't automatically create an artifact when you're expecting one, just tell it, create this as an artifact. That is, it will create an amazing artifact. Let's talk about getting real-world data into Claude. Web search is available under the plus icon and is usually on by default. I leave it on, but here's something that catches people off guard. Claude doesn't always search the web even when it's enabled. If the task doesn't obviously require current information, it'll use its training. Another massively underrated feature is research mode. Most AI tools do one quick search and summarize the results. Claude approaches research differently. I'll say research how to use Claude Cowork for business and surface what most people are missing. Something I could just send in a chat, but I will click this plus button and come down to research and now watch what happens instead of a single search clause operates agentically. I can open this up in the side panel to see exactly what's happening. Deep research conducts an investigation. It builds a research plan. Then it runs dozens of searches that build on each other, following threads, cross-referencing sources, exploring angles you wouldn't have thought to look for. This next part is about building a system which needs to remember and connect things. Using projects correctly is one of the most impactful changes you can make to be more effective with Claude. The projects are self-contained workspaces with their own memory, chat histories, knowledge bases, and custom instruction for specific work streams. Here's why that matters. Instead of re-explaining your context every single time, you set it up once per project and it's automatically there in every conversation inside that project. Here's how to set one up properly. Click the new project, give it a name, then add a short description if you want. This doesn't affect how it functions. Once it's created, come over to instructions, and that's where you can add all those custom instructions. Then go to project files and upload anything Claude should have permanent access to: brand guidelines, SOPs, style guides, past work examples, reference documents, anything you'd normally have to re-upload. Every conversation it lives here now. That's a huge improvement in the experience. But here's the limitation of projects alone. They remember things, but they don't know how to do things. If projects are memory, skills are muscle memory. Skill is a reusable workflow you build once, and Claude invokes automatically whenever the situation calls for it. Anthropic builds and maintains a set of skills available to all paid users, things like formatting, summarization, and analysis structures. Those get triggered automatically in the background. You can see all your skills under customization. Then from that point forward, Claude will automatically invoke it whenever you work on relevant tasks. And then we have connectors. This is where Claude starts integrating with your actual workflow. You can connect tools like Google Drive, Slack, calendars, documents, note-taking apps, and more directly into Claude. That means Claude can pull information from your real files, meetings, and systems while helping you work. Here is the biggest takeaway from this entire video. There are two versions of Claude. There is Claude the chatbot and there is Claude the system. Most people are using the first version. The people getting insane results are building the second one. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, because on this channel I am breaking down the exact workflows, strategies, and AI systems that are helping creators and businesses get ahead before everyone else catches up.